Yes, sir, we going. Da, 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 da. Yeah, I can do my predictions. So I think Loud's doing this, and now I scroll. Uh-huh. Oh no. And this is Mozart Kobor. I think Eternal's going to win the next one. What the SS? Um, nah, SKC's going to win that. Um, okay, interesting names. EH versus New Heights Gaming. Yeah. Loud, SKC and Loud.
Welcome to the second weekend of the 2026 Brawl Stars Championship live
Um,
from Copenhagen. After explosive starts from East Asia and EMEA, we now have South America stepping into the spotlight to compete in their very first monthly final of the season. I'm Sunny, joined by Kenny and Reddy, and you guys are lighting up the desk already. Kenny, we had some wild upsets last year, wild moments. What was your personal highlight from last weekend?
I think for me, it has to be Guesty taking his first monthly finals. I mean, a lot of upsets last weekend, but EMEA was an absolute blast, and it was a treat to see the young man go 1-for-1.
This is my original thought, by the way. I'm not just copying what he says. Guesty going as far as he did, winning.
Unheard of.
Yes, alongside Angel Boy and Nob as well. Just a roster that I'm so happy to see succeed and win a monthly final.
Reddy, this is your first show of the season. How have you been and how are you enjoying this show so far?
It's been a really busy offseason for me, honestly. If y'all caught the preseason icebreaker, if you're looking forward to the SEA sub-region, I've been working really hard on that, so I'm ready to get into the BSC this year.
We want to have a look at just which matches are coming up next here in South America. We're starting things off
yeah, Loud's
with
going
Loud
to win that
versus
one.
Ningam Segura. Nothing is safe, Kenny.
Absolutely not. And last
Maybe
year, there's
here.
anything to go to show for it. 5 of the 6
We will
monthly
see.
finals were won by SKC and Loud. I expect similar this year, but there are several other teams in the mix trying to change things up, slight roster swaps just to give themselves a chance. Eternal, of course, one of those teams with SKC that had a little bit of a trade right before the season
Yeah,
started
Loud's
with
going to
Limbo
win
Squad.
that
This is
one.
previously A7, a team I'm really looking forward to. They had a successful second half of the year, but will they kick off 2026 strong?
Pretty much looking at Olympus squad for that exact reason. This is last year's Alpha 7, and they almost made it to the last chance qualifier. Almost like a good reason to say that they should have gone there over Casa Brawl. Would they have beaten Crazy Raccoon? I'm not so sure. Those are your world champions from last year, but that's why I have my eye on them.
We had some wild moments last weekend already. Many upsets, many
Bro, what
predictions
are
in
the birds
shambles. I'm really
doing?
looking forward to today as well. But let's have one last look here at our East Asia bracket of February.
That
East
was
Asia was
interesting.
awesome. I mean, you can see it in those quarterfinals there. Typically, the first name listed on that
I
bracket is
mean,
the
I
same
would have
division
thought
SKC
that
won. Yeah, Crazy
Reject would
Raccoon.
win
Who's
and
your
that
upper bracket
Crazy
teams?
Raccoon would win.
Usually, those teams win. Instead, 3 of the 4
Yeah.
got toppled in the early round. This paved the way for Zeta Division to have a very convincing road to victory. This is a team that I think people are going to fear. And on your screen, SKC, certainly one of those teams I had higher expectations for. Instead, it was Rival Esports taking a dub.
There's a really nice showing there for Rival Esports. Of course, they got this done versus SK Kalalis. Looked pretty clean, had the draft on point also.
Those were the best moments of East Asia. Reject losing despite a small saying they would
Manashi.
take it. WWL were my favorite match of that weekend actually. Caused a huge upset.
And
It was a
then
very,
that
very slow
one.
sweep in the end. EMEA didn't fall
Yeah.
short in terms of upsets either. We
I
started out
mean,
with
teams like
winning
Team
against SK
Heretics
Gaming,
and
and
Navi
then
not
we had a
making it
new
to the
winner with Hook
quarterfinals is
Esports
just
picking up
crazy.
that new talent, that raw talent
And
in Guesty,
SK
who was
Gaming.
immediately
I mean, what were
pumping
they
him all the way to the grand
doing?
final.
Yeah, I mean, it's impossible to say that I wasn't surprised. I mean, CMM are a team that have some solid players.
It's
To beat a
just
roster of SK Gaming,
crazy.
especially with a world champion on their side on opening day, opening match of the entire
I mean,
region,
after
absolutely insane.
this
I'm glad Hook did
first
those
multi
highlights.
finals,
It breaks my heart for him on
what
the sideline. line.
even is
Nonetheless, I think
true
SK
and what's a
Gaming
lie,
better days ahead of them. But for now, talk of the town.
you
Void
know?
Esports beating a team like Humble, 2024 world champions and 2025 runner-ups, a big deal. I mean, we've talked about it enough, but it's just
To be honest,
it's remarkable.
Foots
It's
were
remarkable that a rookie, his
outskilled,
first
but
season, he's
they
done
had
match winners
draft
before, but
like
this
every
season on the stage,
single
and the fact that he
set.
conquered that as well is crazy.
You say that we've talked about enough because, look, folks, remember our profession. We're captains. We're not supposed to repeat ourselves, but it is literally that important of a story that Guesty has performed so well in his breakout performance and has partnered up with Nob and Angel Boy to do so. Angel Boy, really a fan favorite for years, but has not managed to put on the performance that he desired on an international stage, especially not even on the monthly final stage even.
I'm looking forward to seeing some more rookies pop up this weekend as well. I'm also looking forward to potentially seeing a new meta once more because East Asia looked very different from EMEA. In East Asia, we had all those buffy brawlers very high up in the ranks with Spike,
Yeah,
Mortis, and Frank being the most picked.
It's really curious to see Corey Hills
it
step
makes
too, because I think that's
sense,
something
you
quite
know.
contrasting to a lot of the other regions. I think sometimes this is a team
But
decision
only
how they wish to
40%
play
win
defense,
rate.
corresponding with those bans as well. Several of those
Yeah,
other
and
brawlers are going to
Ems is
show up. Ones
just
that are really heavy
crazy.
and ones that I'm looking out for today as well. Mina, one of those non-buffy brawlers. We have Shade as well. Pierce, you all have seen out of him, but Shade is such a menace. Ali, somebody in the same kind of lines as well that I'd be looking out to see.
And I love that in all those different regions we actually have different metas so far. Whereas here
Aber
we
was zur Hölle machst du
different
hier?
picks and ban phases. In
Also ich
EMEA,
mein Hi,
there's
aber damit habe ich echt
many
nicht
of the most
gerechnet.
played brawlers. So exciting to see
Lol.
to me already.
Something that we were talking about in the pre-show is that I actually kind of think that Mina's overrated because I think she relies a
Um
lot
ehrlich
on
zu sein,
individual
ich
players
sehe
for the
nicht
team. In a
ganz,
team
warum
with
Ellie so
certain
oft gepickt
situations, it's a
wird.
different story where
Ellie
I
ist
think
nicht so
you're
OP,
obviously
wenn du
in
mich
that lane is
fragst.
never going to be able to win a 1v1 in a team fight. Otis, another one that has been picked so frequently because he profits so much just in draft, right?
Meine Güte, kann die jetzt endlich mal anfangen?
Banning, so you're just going to see him a whole bunch.
And especially Mina sticks out there because she's one of those bowlers that have not received her buffy just yet, but she has one of the highest
Ja.
win rates, has been banned out
I
the
mean,
most.
Mina, wenn man sie spielen kann, ist sie wirklich OP.
80% is an astronomical number, by the way. I mean, that's absolutely
Ich
insane.
konnte sie
And
bis vor
that's
kurzem
being
noch nicht
played like in
spielen,
Angel Boy's hands.
aber ich glaube,
I'm
jetzt
hearing
wird so
from Red Eye. And to your
langsam.
point,
Ich habe halt immer zu
good
aggressiv
players, though.
gespielt.
Mina is somebody that, at least at a casual level,
Mina
has
ist in
potential
meinen
to show
Augen
these
nicht
pros
wirklich
the
der
best
Brawler,
Gaming
mit
players
dem
in
man
the game.
das
This is
3
someone
gegen
who's gonna
1
really
macht,
utilize her,
aber
exploit her, and take advantage of
dafür
this
halt so ein
matchup.
Brawler, der
Yeah, like for example, if you
10
watch
Mal
him
hintereinander das
play,
1 gegen 1
he's not
gewinnt.
really ever making the first move. It takes one of his teammates,
Oder
Guesty or
hier,
Nob, to
ja.
get a kill, and then he capitalizes
Oder
on
wie
it,
seit
takes it all
Tempo
in his
das.
face. A very like team play brawler, all about pressure
Die
and
haben
one-on-one.
das schon
Sort of up there
krass
with like
gemacht.
Kenji or Kaze in applying team
Und was
pressure.
genau ist hier in dem
That's the
Chat
role
schon
that I
wieder
expect to see it
los?
fulfilled today. Will it be banned and picked as much? I kind of expect so. Every other region is looking at EMEA and East Asia specifically, the most performant regions, we'll say, in Brawl Stars, to draw it from their drafts.
I'm thrilled to see some even different picks this weekend, to see Latem with their own idea of the meta. I'm even more excited for this.
Man, can you start, please? Oh yeah, Brawl Cup in Berlin this time. Wait, they're already for... Ah no, that's Brawl Cup. Yeah. Maybe I'm going there, but I'm not sure yet.
Make sure to put that in your calendars, May 15th to 17th. We're hopefully going to be there. I'm excited. We're going to Berlin this time, and it's a huge venue as well, with some of the best teams in the world.
I can't wait. I mean, Brawl Cup was one of my favorite things from 2025, and now we've brought it back, and it's bigger and better. BSC points on the line potentially too, which I think.
Well, that's just kind of sad. I stopped early because like the stream started, but well, it seems like they only want to get more money. I don't know.
Now we want to head straight into action here in South America. This is our first match of the day, and this is what we voted loud across the board from all four of our casters. We seem to be pretty aligned in terms of predictions here, except from the quarterfinal number 2. Why did you vote Olympus Squad here, ready?
I just feel like Olympus squad, and we kind of
I
said
mean,
this before.
really?
This is former Alpha 7, and I think there's a very good
I
reason
think Eternal is going
that
to win
making it to the
that,
last chance
the second
qualifier
one.
over Casa Brawl, who eventually did make it there, and I sort of reference this. Do you really think they would have beaten Crazy Raccoon? Hey, it's possible. And they had that hometown
Mm.
energy going for them as well. That's just
Who
why I
is
decided to go with the Brolly
Pedro?
squad.
Fair. I feel like the second one could be very close. The fourth one, there is the
I never heard of that
Yeah, I
guy.
think so too. I mean, despite being that lower bracket team, New Heights Gaming are a team that stand out to me. Perosi
Hmm.
specifically is a player last year that was really impressive to me on his run during that postseason, and I think if he brings that energy to a new roster, it could potentially be really good too.
And now we don't want to have you wait a lot longer. We're heading straight into our first match of the night, the
Yes,
first match of South
finally.
America in your February monthly
But
finals. It's
I
Loud
think this
versus
is going to
Ningen
be a
Segura.
sweep
No
for
Min Seo.
Loud.
And one of those two teams we know very well. The other one, Ningam Segura. Talk a bit more about those, Reddy.
Well, Nin-Game Segura, they're commanded by Tufa, who's such a storied player in Brawl Esports, competed back in 2019 for SSG Brazil. I remember him playing for INTZ in, what, 2021? Made top
Hmm.
4
Yes.
alongside Marcel, the
I
inventor
mean,
of
I
the Protesto.
don't
I
even.
mean, there's,
Okay, Ready
and I've seen
Foods,
a lot
can
of
I?
shorts of this guy just absolutely
Oh!
zapping people on Piper. So that's why I'm looking at Nin-Game
Oh,
Segura
it's
exclusively,
that
because I know there are a lot of
team.
eyes on him, and there are
Hmm.
a lot of people in the audience who love him.
Yeah, but
That team showed us one of the
I
best
don't
results
think
South
that they're going
America
to
have
win.
ever had on the world stage, and that was alongside several of the Loud players he's about to face off against. That team specifically had the first time that South America had made a quarterfinals since 2021, since that run. It had been that long since
It's so
Perosi and Loud
interesting,
had
like
a team of
watching
this sort
back
throughout the
some of
phase.
the
Obviously, they had the Loud Blitz and RDZ, of course, winning all of
older
them.
esports
But
clips and
the
esports
Pioneer
tournaments,
squad,
like
I think, is going to
what
be a nice
finals
underdog in this
2020,
situation. Loud with the number one seed
2023,
last year,
and
these guys
just
dominated
seeing
out of qualifiers. They played right on that
how
cusp of being top 8 frequently.
other
They showed
guys
enough
were
to get
there
to the
that you
Sweet 26, and I'm
know
not fully convinced yet.
actually, but
So Tufa with some new players
from
alongside
YouTube
him.
as content
Himself as well met
creators.
his old teammates back from
Or, for
2020 in
example,
February
Terry,
when they
I
qualified. They were
knew
down
him
2-0
because of
and
the
lost his match
clips on his
against a really
Kenji.
solid team themselves. They
And
reverse swept
it's
them,
just
which really
interesting,
shows their
this
potential.
oh
Yeah, that
moment
they
when you
have
see that they are in
possibly come back
esports.
even in a situation like that already.
Pretty much. I think that these guys are very capable, right? I think some. Well, no, seriously. I think Nin-Game Segura can probably take a few games off of Loud. I think
Bro,
that Loud
like
is
next
obviously
match,
the
3
expected one, or
minutes.
the
I
favorite
don't
one.
want to
But
wait
we'd
that
like to see
long.
just a couple games taken off of them. Really, that's really my expectation, because I think that this is a pretty chalked matchup.
Let's look at the other side of the arena here. Yes, we have Loud. Yes, we have that team that completely reigned dominance over the region last year. Can they do it
Man.
again today? If it is anything like last weekend, their first match, when we said one of the two teams will most definitely win, the underdog won. Just putting it out there.
I mean, 99 times out of 100, and even on the 100th, I'm still going to predict SK Gaming in that situation. It's the same situation here for Loud. Look, unexpected things happen, crazy stuff happens. I think the world just needs to know
Just
that
for
you have
predicting
to
the
take
gap
every opponent seriously,
points.
and I think Loud are no exception to that.
Wait,
Loud were the
tomorrow's
number one
going to be
seed. They didn't
even
win the most monthly finals
later.
from this region last year. I think they still have a lot to prove on home turf, especially off the backs of their World Finals performance, making it to the
Ow.
quarterfinal stage, going in a thriller match against a team like Revenant X Spark, which were top 4 in the world. I think they still want to show that they're really
That's
capable of
terrible,
winning. It's
so
not a lot to
basically
do. I
I'll
think
have
Ningen
to
Segura are
watch
going to
till
be a good
like,
test for them. It's a
I
good
don't
first
know,
match, but to your
midnight
point, Ready, yeah, I
until
mean, a
KDS is
game
going to
set would
play.
be ideal, I
I
think,
mean,
for them.
Tribe
I think
against
that will allow
Elevate
the expectations to
will
be
be
much lower.
close, I
Well,
think,
consider
as
this.
well
If you're
as
Loud,
TE
where's your
against
destination? We have to
Vatic.
win the grand finals. If you're Nin-Game Segura, you're
Um,
focusing all of your attention just on this quarterfinal. So it's
and
a
then
precious,
I
precious moment
can't
to
even
exercise
watch
preparation
them
for every single match they're
winning the
playing
rest of the
on
monthly
Playing Time.
finals because,
And they're also led
of
by Jacob
course,
Silva
KDS is
now.
going to
They're
win.
Trekking as their coach, formerly their manager. I wonder what that staff change is going to imply for their performance as a team now.
Loud definitely had a good run last year at Brawl Cup. They match 1 over Tribe, and then at Worlds they became top 8. So we're definitely looking forward to this match. As you mentioned, Ningen Segura has less to lose, right? So these are our predictions for this first quarterfinal. Loud, let's see if they actually win and we actually get one of our predictions right. And I also want to
Bro,
know
what
you
the
guys as well
heck are all my
voted. For everyone who
classmates
didn't vote
doing
just
in
yet, head over to event.brawlstars.com. You can still lock in your predictions for the
5v5?
upcoming
Oh.
matches and get some points along the way to get your icons and your pins and everything that's fun in game.
Get your
I got performance
icons
tweak
and your
last week.
pins
I
and
wasn't
so
good enough.
on.
I need
Yeah,
to
but where are the
improve. We got
skins?
the
Where are the
lucky for
esports
SK. I
skins? I
got to come
need
back
the
to the well.
Jesse
I got lucky for
skin.
Innate. I'm pretty sure
Please.
you're the same boat.
Instead, there are the evil Spike, the Grey skin, the Berry skin, Bull, Eve, Evil Genie. But I don't want these skins.
I like Hard Rock Mine. I feel like, you know, Brawl Stars' genesis
Like,
happened
what
on
the
Hard Rock Mine,
heck?
and the first ever brawlers were conceived on Hard Rock Mine. It is that ancient.
Wait, you can
Yeah, no, I think
buy
it
the
really does
Edgar
idealize that,
skin
and
for
I'm hoping
€5.
that Brawl Stars what all went down in Hard Rock Mine to bring Brawl Stars to our life. Anyway, I'll finish waffling and
How much?
and
How
so
much
by saying yes, I
is
think we'll see some classic brawlers here. A mix of the new
Oh
stuff,
no.
also especially some things that were banned out. Wonder if South America is going to borrow from East Asia's playbook. Let some of those, you know, really powerful things slip through and see how it shakes things up.
I'm sure over the website.
Bro, can we start, please? Okay, so let's talk
about
about the maps. Hard Rock Mine is the first one. Rico's going to be really strong. But Mina as well, and Frank, Ruff, and yeah, Ruff's fine. But I wanted to say Mortis.
We're gonna have fun, or we're gonna be right. One of the two.
No, I also think winning is fun.
Yeah, that's
So
like the
I'm
first
hoping
brawlers
that
that
I'm
come
correct on my
up to
predictions.
me.
I went off on a limb, I felt, with quarterfinal number 4. But New Heights Gaming seems like we all are in lockstep believing that they're going to win. So at least we'll go down together, and it'll be a net 0.
That is actually true and super interesting. We say quarterfinal number 4 is going to be the closest one, yet we all have
Oh,
voted for
what
the same team.
is
I
Big
think you just copied
7?
me, guys. Honestly.
No, I don't think
Bro,
so.
Leon?
Yeah, I don't think so. No. I
That's
mean,
why
if I
we
copied
both
your
don't
homework, I'd
think
be
so.
missing a lot.
Who asked for your opinion?
I don't think we did.
And where is the Leon?
I just stick to the brawl. I lock in for the Brawl Stars. That's all you get out of me.
Oh, there. Second.
What I already have mentioned before is that there's different metas are happening in all those different regions.
Bro, it's not him.
Asia, and then 3 non-buffy brawlers.
Oh, this shit is so boring. I'm watching my classmates
Come out for
playing 5v5 knockouts. Where did I go wrong? And now they have to face off against a power-up 4 Primo.
Going to be a secret brawler for this
He's a
region.
Leon, so
I
no,
feel
he's
like
not
there's
going
too
to
much
win
on the
that.
table for these teams. I think in the first month, everybody's trying to figure things out a little
Bro,
bit.
what are you
Those non-buffy
doing?
brawlers are still going to show up. The ones that I'm going to keep an eye on for that some of
Oh,
the regions were more
bro's running to
prioritizing
the
in big
poison.
displays, and especially with the current map pool that we have, Shade and Alley,
Well,
2
that's the
assassins that I think teams
1-1.
are really pesky. Hard Rock Mine, which we just saw be that opening map, is somebody that teams are
Bro,
frequently banning,
B.
especially if they don't
Colt
have
is
the
fine,
first overall pick. They want
especially
to get
with
rid of them,
buffies.
or excuse me, if they do have that first overall pick,
But
because
I
they're
don't
very
think he
pesky on
has
that.
some.
I
He
still think
has
Colt is,
any.
like, kinda decent.
Bro,
It's
why
just
is he
like, as
playing
long as you
Mecha
ban
Colt?
annoying stuff, like get rid of
And then the
Alley
black
and
skin.
assassins, you can still do that.
Really,
So
the
I
Mecha
think
Colt
Colt
skins are
is
so
it lets
freaking
us
ugly.
encourage brawlers through, and excuse me, also the Buffy brawlers. Everyone has a hyper.
Nex is getting
This is
tagged by the
almost always gonna be a
Angelo.
hypercharge of some sort.
Well, they got a
Some
kill.
fleeting concept or ability that drives them out.
And the
Though that doesn't
Spike
mean that
wasted
other
his
brawlers aren't tough.
hyper.
You know, you want to pick Juju last, generally speaking. It
The
can be
Edgar
worth the risk,
tickled
because if
them,
your opponent is a
though.
Buffy brawler, you can get one for yourself. Listening to an
What's
opposite
that? A
list.
Tara?
Something I observed in EMEA
Man, the
also
Tara
this
is to
season
play more
was
aggro.
Skardan,
To
for
play
example,
more
for Spartan team,
aggro.
baiting
If
people
she
into
gets super,
especially
they
when it
can
comes to
win,
versus
I
one with,
think.
say, like spawners, for example.
Charlie,
So,
yeah.
yes, exactly. Charlie is one of the biggest things that
Like
appears
what
through. Something
the
that I also
hell is
expect
that
them to see
Edgar
today.
doing?
As you know, South America and North America, I expect them to copy the other regions that have come before them.
We have Globert as the newest brawler in the game.
Heal up, Spike, please.
Monthly final. Do you think he's gonna be showing up a lot next month? Is he ranking?
They are not winning that.
Or would he not have been played anyway this weekend?
I've been watching EMEA scrims this
Except the
week.
Primo dies, then they are.
They can experiment.
Man, yeah, like
obviously
die already. Tara, please, super. Primo, jump. Yes. Nah, not that again. But I thought he'll lose. Yes, sir. And my classmates lost.
You know, like strong support brawler that's also like really good off.
Man, these guys are so trash.
And maybe not beyond that, because usually
I mean, maybe I should shut up. There's still a chance that they'll watch this someday. But, man, they're trash talking me the entire time, and now that.
You already mentioned Shade and Ellie are 2 other assassin brawlers that could show up quite often. Is Mina gonna show up just as often in this region, where they tend to play more throwers?
Wait, do they?
Yeah,
He's
I
not
think
in
so
the
too. I
club.
think Mina's still going to show up at the top of the list as
Sigma
well. I mean, another
Boss
assassin to
Club.
throw your alls away is going to be the creature of the night. Mortis, I think he's a great option.
Bruh. They got their
And
own
now
their
we
own
cannot
club with
wait a lot longer. We have straight to
200,000
action.
trophies total. And 10 members. Wow. That's crazy.
Loud versus Ningam Sakura to kick things off here in the South American region. I'm super excited to see what they're going to show us here on Hard Rock Mine. The bands are already in. We have two Buffy Brawlers banned out from the side.
You know what? I'm going to join them with my second account. Wait, I don't have them in my friends list, do I?
And Shade, a brawler that you were looking forward to, Kenny, is unfortunately also out of the way.
Yeah,
Then I have to remember the
Pal is
idea of
somebody
the
that's gonna stand
club.
out to me as well, since she did escape the ban phase. That was very common, especially in East Asia, EMEA. That's a mechanical brawler that can really thrive, and in this current meta of Brawl Stars, you just have to keep these aggressive brawlers in mind. I think that's partially why they're gonna go with something like a Crow. I wouldn't say that's a standard first overall pick on this map, but it does well as a safe mid that has a jump away option if you really need to get to safety.
Looking out for Pierce here. Of course, it's left unbanned. Really strong mid on this map, but you got to watch out for Mortis. Sandy on the lane should be a strong option to also get rid of some of those spawnables. Pierce right through them, if that's the mentality. Here comes Pierce. And Sandy's going to be their preemptive reaction, it looks like, into Mortis. You usually want to reserve this as a later pick so your opponent can't react to it as hard, but it's going to be really tough. I've seen the Sandy matchup into Mortis before. I may have seen it in EMEA, actually. And it just looked absolutely miserable because you have a gadget. That's your only way of stopping him, really, because you're not going to kill him with all your shots. Every brawler has more HP now as of the last set of balance changes. So you can't 3-shot him, you have to stun him, and that's on a cooldown.
And a good Mortis will know how to bait those gadgets out, and there he is. Very good shout from you here, Ready. Mortis definitely one of the best brawlers you could pick here overall. Honestly, I'm so surprised to see him slip through the ban phase, and he's the 4th picked brawler here. Now, they're probably going to go with Crow mid here. We don't have any more mids to be picked up, as Pierce probably is going to be the gem carrier for the other side. What's going to be for lane? We still have Ruffs open. I always like him on a map like this one. Trunk would also be an option, but my first guess was correct.
Yeah, Ruffs makes too much sense, I think. Especially with Rico out of the way, now you still get that bounce shot brawler, and also you can enable that Mortis to go crazy. I'm curious what this left-hand side's going to ultimately do here. Do they match with something aggressive of their own, or do they beef up and get tanky? Because somebody like Colonel Ruffs is not going to deal lethal damage. Poison from Crow will be super frustrating to deal with, but it's going, yeah, I was going to say, it's going to be something aggressive and tanky. A big dog in Trunk is going to be able to eat up here.
Generally speaking, Trunk should be very viable into that Mortis. Something that you might even want to get rid of if you have a plan to play Mortis, just because he can heal up so much, has a bunch of HP, can still damage Mortis through a wall. Sometimes Mortis benefits quite a bit from using the gadget, the combo spinner to damage through walls. Absolutely.
Yeah, passed.
Ridiculous that you can do that. By the way, damage using a super.
Ich hab Scheiße gebaut. Nein.
I think this was deliberately left open. The Mortis they knew it was going to be coming.
Really looking forward to this one. Is it going to be another upset, or will Loud, the champion of this season, of this region last
Einen Moment, ich bin gleich da,
Loud top dogs of 2025, but now in 2026, it's a whole nother ball game. Ningguim Segura around for that top 8 stage a lot. Great Afoot, Tufa have been teammates before, but now they are facing off against one of the best this region has seen in a long time. Way to be pesky, not necessarily grabbing the kills, but dealing with that mid gym carrier is a great start for somebody on the red roster.
How frequently do you see the Mortis get pushed?
Gib mir noch ganz kurz, dann bin ich wieder da.
That is his MO. Even cycles the heal twice, but cannot get this one down on Firecrow. Firecrow deals with a little bit of that poison, but still hangs up high. That's how he's going to apply the pressure to Tufa. Firecrow also is being fed his hypercharge and super, but not before.
So, da bin ich also. Wir sehen den Mortis. Wir sehen Pierce. Das ist ein gutes Game für den Baum, muss ich sagen. Ja, Firecrow. I mean, Tufa is a little bit of a... Ach, egal, ich kann jetzt erstmal in Deutsch reden. Tufa ist ein Problem für ihn. Ich meine, er kriegt einen Crow nicht gekillt und der Crow kann sein Healing ziemlich unterdrücken, aber ich meine, sie haben einen Pierce. Laut hat einen Pierce, also werden sie das höchstwahrscheinlich gewinnen. Die Sache ist halt, dass der Mortis ein bisschen was machen kann. Ja. Mortis hat halt auch ein Free-Matchup. Bis auf den Baum. Das heißt, eigentlich sollte Firecroft Mortis gehen die ganze Zeit, ja. Edinho gewinnt eigentlich gegen den Crow. Und Skyodog hat Hyper. Ja, der Hyper ist halt krass. So. Loud muss jetzt halt die Kontrolle halten. Genau, was sie aber nicht hinkriegen werden. Crow hat halt Hyper. Der Mortis hat schon wieder Hyper. Oh, ich glaube, NS gewinnt das. Was sind das eigentlich für Namen? NS, SS. Was haben sich die Leute aus SA gedacht? Wirklich. Ja. I mean, die Aufgabe vom Crow ist jetzt nicht gerade rein zu jumpen. Er ist der Gem Carry. Er muss dann rausjumpen, aber. Crow ist jetzt nicht wirklich der Playmaker, sondern eher der Mortis.
Gem grab, it's a very tempo-based game mode. I use this word a lot.
Hm.
Gem spawns every 7 seconds, okay? And
Die Sache ist halt, Loud ist so overall relativ gut, während das stimmt. Loud ist relativ gut über die ganze Länge des Games sozusagen. Also Pierce ist ziemlich gut am Anfang. Trunk ist im Mid-Game ziemlich gut und im Late-Game ist Sandy der Pick. Und NS ist halt in Late-Game ziemlich stark mit den ganzen Hypercharges. Und wenn sie die Map öffnen, das heißt, ja, Loud muss halt am Anfang einen großen Vorsprung bekommen. So wie jetzt, das machen die eigentlich ziemlich gut. Ja, und dann ist eigentlich ein ziemlich gutes Game für sie. Du siehst, sie sind 8-1 vorne, sie haben da oben links noch einen Gem. Also NS hat einen Gem. Bruder. Was sind das für Namen? Ja, und okay, das war ein ziemlich schlechter Hypercharge, aber es ist nicht schlimm. Den Gem können sie lassen, der nächste spawnt auf ihrer Seite. Ja, genau, also Südamerika, aber Südamerika ist basically Brasilien. Genau. Sie haben halt einen Sandy Hyper, das heißt, die können jetzt kaum noch was machen. Ja. Ich soll vielleicht aufhören, die ganze Zeit nur die und sie zu sagen. Ja. Ich schätze halt, dass Pierce auf jeden Fall Vision Gear hat. Auf der Seite von NS brauchen sie halt nicht so viel, weil sie einen Crow haben. Das heißt, die haben sozusagen einen Free Gear Slot mehr. In den Ruffs kann auch wirklich niemand reingehen, weil der Ruffs ansonsten ziemlich viel Ult gecharged bekommt und Hyper und dann hat der Mortis mehr Hyper Charges und so weiter. Aber das ist ein ziemlich gutes Early Game für NS, wenn du dir das anschaust. Ich glaube, die könnten das sogar gewinnen. Ningguem Sugera, okay, das merke ich mir. Ich meine, Edinho kann nicht wirklich den Mortis ulten, weil es bringt nichts. Oder das Pierce Gameplay zu sehen. Ich weiß nicht, ob die anderen so gut im Dodgen sind oder ob Edinho einfach kein Aim hat. Ja, genau. Genau. Ich weiß aktuell gar nicht, welches Mortis Gadget besser ist, weil das Fidget Spinner Gadget, das chargt ja keine Ult mehr. Ist aber halt trotzdem noch so gut für die Free Kills. Oh, das hat Firecrow sehr gut gemacht. Er hat nicht mal einen Hyper verwendet. Oh, damn, das war gesellt. Oh. Einen Moment, das muss ich mir nochmal anschauen. Also hier so. Wie genau konnte das passieren? Oh, ich weiß nicht, ob die da was hätten anders machen können. Ich meine, ich hätte Firecrow ein bisschen mehr rausgefokust. Aber ja, und keine Ahnung, was der Mortis da gemacht hat. Ich meine, er hätte jetzt für einen Hypercharge-Play gehen müssen. Aber das war nur Single Bats und dann da stand die Sandy rein. Das war nicht so gut gespielt. Nun gut. Aber interessant. Ja, das stimmt, das stimmt. Ja, nee, aber alles in allem GG's vom Trunk. Also ich bin ja auch ein Trunk-Liebhaber. Das heißt, mich freut nichts mehr als ein schönes Trunk-Game.
Of running a 4-5 turn where you're not necessarily equipped to deal with tanks. Right now, it's all aggro and all tank. If you're not prepared for both of them, you're probably setting your team up for failure, especially if you're in the spot that Ningguim Sigura in. All three of those brawlers, excellent. Frequently show up on this map, but I just think that
was ich halt ein bisschen schade finde, ist, dass heute die Südamerika-Marzipan sind, nicht die Nordamerika. Weil morgen darf ich nicht so lange wach bleiben wie heute. Und ich würde eigentlich ganz gern das Match von KDS sehen. No. Aber es wird dann vermutlich nichts und dann muss ich warten bis zum nächsten Tag und das ist einfach traurig. Nein, damit werde ich leben müssen, dafür wird KDS morgen gewinnen und das ist doch auch schön, oder? Ich habe das Skript gelesen, ich weiß, dass KDS gewinnen wird. So. Auf der Map. Okay, Instalog. Das ist interessant. Mortis und Pearson offen, Minas offen, Ricos offen. What? Dafür ein Shelly Ban, ein Max Ban? Spike, Double Ban. Das ist interessant. Die Sache ist halt, es ist immer noch ein gutes Mina-Game, es ist immer noch ein gutes Mortis-Game. Pierce ist immer noch offen als Midlaner. Genau. Okay, warum Cordelius? Ich sehe nicht, warum man Cordelius spielen würde, aber vielleicht haben sie einfach einen Plan. Die Sache ist, jetzt bringt es nicht mehr so viel für sie Pierce zu spielen. Yes, sir. Also Ricos offen. Ich habe keine Ahnung, warum Cord. Ricos offen, Pierce ist offen. Beide sind ziemlich gut gegen Kenji. Colt ist offen. Mit Colt kann man theoretisch auch die Map noch aufmachen. Bruder, das ist mehr so nicht Silber, das ist mehr so Diamond. Sage ich. Ja, Pierce ist offen. Aber sie brauchen halt noch ein Aggro. Man kann okay, sie haben an sich einen Goal Scorer in Willow, also können sie an sich mit dem Stu gehen, aber Ich sehe noch nicht ganz, warum man Stu nehmen sollte. Vielleicht wollen sie Stu einfach gegen potenziellen Werfer haben und um die Map aufzumachen. Das ist so das, was ich jetzt denken würde.
Charlie is going to be the last pick brawler here. Also very good
Hm.
mid. They didn't really have anything for that just yet.
So Charlie made a lot of sense to me because they needed a mid, but also
Ja, okay,
this
Charlie
would be
ist
a way to not only deal with Pierce, but
ganz
also
gut gegen
Stu. I
Pierce.
think they were almost forced into this just in the sense that Mead is a great brawler, but Charlie on paper at least makes too much sense. The Cocoon gonna be powerful, but also the extra hatchlings just necessary in this matchup, I think.
Die Sache ist, wenn es laut gut spielt und die Willow zum Beispiel die Spinnen zuerst weg abschießt, dann bringen halt die 1 gegen 1 Matchups nicht. Ja, schau. Ich bin gespannt, welches Gadget Pierce spielt. Und er wurde so gescannt mit der Ammo. Aber was ist das Aim? Was ist das? Er hat einen Schuss getroffen bis jetzt. Oh, damn. Ja. Oh, das war eine geile Ult von Cordelius. Ich sehe nicht ganz, warum sie die Willow in Cordelius reinschicken. Okay. Ja. Sammelt die Munition auf. Ja, Cord ist nicht schlecht. War das eine gewastete Willow Ult? Oder Südamerika ist so ein Fiebertraum. Das war eine gewastete Willow Ult. Was war das für eine Charlie Ult? Die Sache ist, wenn Charlie und Cord gleichzeitig Ult machen, ist halt ein 2 gegen 1. Und wenn einer der Gegner down ist, dann ist... Was war das für Positioning? Das ist da. Moment. Ich meine, warum spielt keiner von ihnen Mitte? Nein, nein, das wollte ich doch gar nicht. Ah! Ah! Hier. Okay, hier haben wir den... Ja, warum nimmt der Pierce dann plötzlich Sidelane? Ich verstehe es nicht, er müsste Mitte nehmen. Warum ist er so weit auf der Seite? Und sie haben 0 Das sind meine Randoms und Mythes. Und hier... Mir gefällt das Teamplay nicht wirklich. Aber nun gut. Pierce hat jetzt die... Warum nimmt der Pierce den Ball? Er verliert halt Munition. Ich hätte die Ult dafür... Oh, okay, das war ein guter Play. Das war ein guter Play. Das war ein echt guter Play. Aber ich verstehe nicht so ganz, warum der Pierce eine Ult nicht auf das Charlie Gadget aufspart. Okay. Und er hat die Ult gewastet.
Return fire as soon as it looked like Loud found their footing. They have the same lane layout as they did at the beginning. Fire Crow's stuck in the realm. Means that they have a lot less defense. Going to be some more serious for Rate of Foot. Ball cleared over towards the right side. Should be easy to stuff everyone into this goal.
Ja, das GG's.
Gotta get it done now. Some Maturino pins in the air.
Damn.
And a set here and gone from Ningame Segura.
Oh, du gehst schon? Okay, dann bis später. Oder bis morgen oder was auch immer. Schönen Tag noch und gute Nacht.
Cordelius showed no signs of stopping. I mean, he was aggressive the whole way through. Typically, that's an anti-tank brawler, but with no tanks on the other side, had to find a way to get work.
I really like the Charlie pick to end their composition. position with here. Ningam Segura picked the perfect brawler to overwhelm not only the Pierce but also the Stu. I love me a good Stu game. I love the brawler,
News
but I think
online.
Dog, even someone who is playing this brawler on every single map and mode, couldn't really do much here. Ningam Segura, I really liked what I saw, and I don't want to say, I'm going to say it anyways, I called it. But after they got a game in Hard Rock Mine, they also now got a set.
I'll tell
Hmm.
you what I didn't call was this draft working out so well as it did. I was a little less convinced, but that was just me being a little restrictive on my thinking. I did not expect Cordelius to operate in this manner. You see, he's got 5 kills. You know what, KD? That's pretty cool. I'm really looking at the team play aspect of this because reliably he was getting his super just off of waiting behind an obstacle. Then when he had the super, nullify the enemy mid, get Fire Crow out of there. He is the Pierce, he is the power player, he is the mid control, and then pressure crunched everyone else in. The 2v2 was won beyond that point. Big thumbs up for me on the team play. Well done in Game Segura. You've convinced me.
We also saw Tufal from time to time on the camera. I feel like he's really doing his best at tying everyone together. As we talked about, he's playing with 2 experienced players, but not as experienced as everybody else on the field right now.
Yeah, I mean, that was a really good showing from draft to gameplay. And again, in set 1, they had a solid showing. That was making light work of Loud. Bouncing them
And
off
I'm
the walls. I
alone.
mean, just outpacing
Alone.
them
I'm
all around.
alone.
That's not the Loud that I've known and grown to love over the past couple years in this region. And now it's all of a sudden 1-1. I think if Loud go down 1-2, that can shake your confidence a little bit throughout the day. I mean, you have to find a way to make the easy wins easy, and that's something that we're not really seeing out of Loud right now. If you want to be a top dog in your region, you have to be a presence. You have to be better than these other teams. And not to say that Nim Gim Segura aren't respected, they are. But I don't think it's
I
because
don't
of
really
the
know why
defense
the
that Loud
first
with
pick the
everything to lose
Brock,
right now.
or why the
And he
first
does
pick
that work well.
always
Got
this
Spence coming
fast.
already. Mina's going to be out of the way as well as Tick and Spike. Angelo, Jean, and Pierce now not on the board anymore. Brock is going to be picked up first. An unusual choice at the moment. Brock isn't exactly the best in the meta, but you can break open the map. So if they want to come in with some more long-ranged options, no throwers, I think Brock is going to do just fine.
No throwers, no like buster, no ollie, stuff that hides behind an obstacle for the entire time and then decides to pop their supers and hypercharges that they got for free right at the end. They are not trying to get cheesed out here. There are other ways to break open walls that I guess they were just not really interested in. This is a way of exerting control over the draft because I think that they've been caught a bit off guard in the past couple of sets. They managed to pull through in set number 1. Set number 2, obviously that's in recent memory, did not go their way at all. They're, I think, trying to throw in game Segura off balance just a little bit and then lead with their instincts on the rest of the draft.
Last weekend, Brock was even to the point where he was getting banned regularly on this map, and I think it's because of a lot of the reason that you just mentioned, because of that wall break control. There's not a lot of natural fits on a map like this to have that possession. Somebody like Griff can show up, but are you really going to run a Griff on Gold Arm Golds compared to these other sharpshooters, the Pierces of the world running around the game? Love the choice of RT in general on this map. Somebody that can drop the static when they need to towards those in-games, have that Jackie S super, so you can be really aggressive if necessary, and if not, just sit back, relax, be a sharpshooter like the rest of your team.
RT super good in early and late game. Let's see what Loud brings, because so far they only have something for early game. Brock is going to do better when their opponents are at full max range. Gus is going to come in, very good pick here. I feel also very solid in the late game once he has his shield up, and he could potentially shield any aggression that they might still want to show here. Rico is going to be the last pick. Rico is the most picked brawler in the map. I had him on my radar, but I felt like if they want to open up the map, Rico's usually not the next pick you want to go with.
No, not really. And it's painting the picture of, look, they want to have those walls. They'll have the option. Rico's shots are so closely grouped together now as opposed to earlier, so it's not as much of a risk to strafe with your shots. You can kind of play like a Colt. You can beam people at long range. There are ways to play this, of course. Last pick, however, from Ningame Segura. What do they go here? They have so many options. Gray is the direction that they're headed. Just also, I guess, going to be able to break open some of those walls, teleport onto someone if they so desire. Look, I think we have some good pieces here, but we haven't really made a puzzle, right? We haven't really put things together. I'm a bit mystified on how all of this coalesces from Ningame Segura because this draft doesn't really tell me a story.
I actually was about to say maybe they picked a Gray just to open up the map in case Brock doesn't want to do it now because of the Rico, so they have to have a break option themselves. Heading into map number 3, it could be the time where Ningim Sigura, our underdog here, takes the lead.
I could also see Gray, the TP being a huge feature, because one thing that does stand out to me about Loud, outside of a Coyote Dog super that can give you a bubble, fairly squishy. 6,900 HP on the right, especially for Firecrow as well. And if they get a Walking Cane, a couple taps like that, it can get real scary. Now, if you've got a Walking Cane plus a teleport, death sentence for any of these Loud brawlers.
Ningame Segura immediately beamed on the right side. Another shot from Firecrow sends Anubis down. It's just Ray DeFoot, who's going to be treated like a big old super battery. Away for Firecrow, Kyodog, Adinho, whoever wants to just charge their super. They'll let him heal up a little bit if they decide to do so. Nope, just intent on finishing this. The RT hypercharge is a huge concern, but it looks like this one might even be over quite quickly. It would definitely be Loud's desire to end this one in 2 rounds. They'll even switch up also the lane layouts. Then, of course, being Ningame Segura, Firecrow, forced to jump back. That shows you just what they think of wall break if they're switching up things like that on the Brock gadget.
We saw what Adinho could do with the super in the last round, and he's got another one charged up. Oh, Gray, just a misstep, and now lets loose on the top right-hand side. Adinho cleans things up. Wow, we saw a speed run in game 2. That was breaking pace here entering set 3 from Loud. A great response, and kind of answered the call out of me. I was really pleading for them. If you want to be a top team in this region, you have to make it look that way. And they just dominated. That was some crazy stuff.
Also shows off one of the beautiful things about draft is that you can change your gadget, your star power after the fact if you want in final preparations. So Brock is a more flexible brawler, can decide to lead with the wall break, which is a typical mentality, or you can decide to jump away when you know that wall break isn't really going to help you at all. Him being picked as a first pick and totally pivoting on strategy is just wonderful from Loud. And they've got exactly what they want. Adinho is shutting down this right side. Bell in the range matchup just is, it's really no contest. Adinho is able to fan out his shot so wide as well that Tufa's not able to dodge it so well, and Adinho's always a question mark inside the bushes on the right side. Already gotten a super, and back Anubis onto the right side. Kyodog also gets that kill onto Ray DeFoot on the left side. It's looking a total shutout for Loud.
Loud are just tapping right now. It doesn't feel like Ningame Segura can hit a shot. Now the fog closing in, there's nowhere to go. They have 2 avenues of exits, and Loud are covering all sides. Kyodog with a few shots in. Maybe they get a
I just want to.
It's going to be the blue side with a couple supers in the backhand pocket. Ningame Segura willing to try anything at this point. It's a full engagement on this left-hand side. Fairly untraditional, I would say, for a map like this.
Well, exhausted all the traditional options is what it looks like. They tried to split it all 3 brawlers on the right side. They tried to do 2 in 1. Now they're just committing on the opposite side. Hopefully they can take down Firecrow, but now they've left a wide open avenue for Adinho, and the window of opportunity has now closed. They had to face all 3 brawlers. That's the pull on Kyodog, and despite his best efforts, Anubis is not able to capitalize on it. Didn't even get a super from this last game. Ray DeFoot throwing in the towel as well, and that's curtains. It's another set headed to Loud. 1 set away from victory.
Wow,
they have really tightened up the reins for this match.
Something
they have absolute
else.
control.
Polarizing opposites of sets right there. This time it's Loud dominating, and it felt like they were hitting every shot they were taking. I think I saw one maybe misstep on a Rico super in that final round, but you see it on Firecrow's face. Completely calm, unfazed, and it shows. I mean, this was unbelievable. One thing I will say, that Gray last pick did not come through enough for me. It felt like they were landing the Walking Canes, but there was no follow-up, no execution in the outset. I feel like if you're going to pick this Gray, especially when you're not maybe enabling a tank or you're trying to get in the enemy's faces, you got to make those gadgets count. I mean, Loud are entirely playing around that, and the one superpower that the red roster had just did not come through. Donuts all around, just a lot of breakfast on the right-hand side.
Let's go with the next graphic. This looks sad, honestly. Yeah, Rico.
That's crazy.
I really wonder, Kenny, and I completely agree with you that the Walking Cane didn't really come through. Was that even the right pick of gadget? The other gadget would have opened up the map quite quickly, and I think the RT and Dibel would have done better than against the Rico specifically.
Yeah, very well may, and we didn't really see those side grassy lanes really get opened up at all. The only time we really saw it was when Brock would drop a super, and so Rico could just kind of get sneaky, use those bounce shots to his advantage. I mean, every single Loud player, I don't feel like this is often they say it, but they were kind of all standouts because they were the only team with kills. I mean, everybody really doing their part, playing completely different brawlers as well. Thoroughly impressed. That's more what I'm used to seeing compared to what set 2 was.
just didn't look like Ningame Segura knew what to do really at all. They see the Brock first pick and they go, huh? Okay, well, let's go back to old reliable. And it didn't work out at all. Loud, they're bringing fresh
Hello,
things
hello,
up in
Elliot.
what should be their easiest
Oh,
match of the day. It's now on to our next map. First pick of Spike. Good old-fashioned Buffy Stars out here. It's been banned so consistently. Now it's being
yeah,
implemented by
I don't really
when you're doing that,
see
generally it
why
makes it easier. I think they just had to get rid of the better options that
help
they
me,
have.
why everybody
Look at
thinks
Poco,
Spike's the
Mortis,
best brawler
all top brawlers,
after
all
Ems.
top bans as well. So it could also just be a matter of prioritization rather than
Hmm,
baiting.
Pierce is going to be the first pick
man,
here. Very well done as
I
he
see
takes the main
that
stage once more. And
first of
now
all
Buffy
they
takes
messed
over
up
every
this
single
shit
time.
once again,
You talk about Buffy,
and
something
second of
very
all,
broken as well. Could very well be Phoenix
um,
here. Poco unfortunately out of
here
the way. So
Frank is
seems
still
like
open.
Spike is going to be a bit too much damage against the Frank, and they're going to look into a bit more, let's say, conservative pick here. Crow would still be left open. Lou, always a good shout on the hot zone. Finks, Pam, all
So
brawlers
it's
who can
hot zone.
Finks is one that's yeah, there we go. I was gonna say Finks is one that surprised me that he hadn't
Probably
shown up
Ring of
this late,
Fire
especially
then.
when watching North America. A lot of the times, just
I mean,
based
I
on ban
still
play
see
after the
something
fact,
like a
it's usually a
Frank
choice of do I
Gray
want Finks
combo.
or do I want Poco? In this case, Poco. In the ban phase, we get Pierce, who's a long-range sharpshooter. I just feel like Pierce is at such a good point as an individual brawler that it's hard for me as a
Hmm.
team to justify passing up on him. But seeing this on a 2-3 turn, the one thing I will say about Finks compared to other mids on this map is he's pretty decent at handling aggression. And I think that's important, especially when you're in that earlier onset of the draft. You have to be ready for that.
Yeah, it's Ring of Fire.
A TP mechanism at least to deal with that, which is something that covers for Pierce.
Yeah, you got the TP. You also get 3 extra
But
shots, assuming
like,
that you were, smart about your ammo use and the timing of your teleport with the gadget. Should be able to decently go into
why?
Alley, but Alley can bait you really
Why
effectively. She's
Ellie?
got plenty of water
But
bushes to
they
work with
still
here.
need something to hold the
Advantageous
mid.
her
Maybe
jump.
a
She becomes invulnerable for
Pam.
the duration of the attack, even though it is pretty
I'd
quick.
really like a
If
Pam or
there's
something
a
like a
reason
Ruffs
that TP
maybe.
is not played so much anymore,
Yeah, Ruffs
here
might
you go.
work because,
She's jumping all over the place. Pam, super
yeah.
strong here. Could play reactively into this.
I mean,
Already committed with the Pierce support.
they
They're going to be going something
need
different.
something against
I do like
Pierce
the Pam, especially
because,
together with the Ellie
I mean, the
combo.
Spike
Spike
gadget isn't
comes
like
back to
enough
base charge.
to counter the
Now we're gonna see that we have
Pierce.
2 long-range brawlers, 2 snipers with not that
Ellie
powerful. Maybe some heals would be good for them as
can
well.
do a decent
Or
job, but
potentially kind of still waiting for that one. Lou
I mean,
super
it's not
good
a free
aggression.
win.
He's also kind of good against Pam to just destroy the
Is he
base.
playing on a
Or
hand,
to open up the
on
map
a
despite them
phone?
having a spike. I guess you can always pick Buffy brawlers, even if
That's
there's some
interesting.
counters against you.
No, I think, generally speaking here, Frank, look, he's a tank, but as far as tanks go, he's got the most range. And then also, he's got even longer range with an aimable gadget now that sucks people in. It's absolutely ridiculous. Why do we have this? But I digress. It should be a fairly strong
Oh
start.
right,
Some
Pam
tank pairs
gadget
should
is
be
good
very sturdy
against
against the Alley
Pierce.
specifically. If he sticks around the point just
Oh,
for survival, I think that's where we should generally expect him to be, but should also be a neat tool for dealing with
well, but
Alley
I
as soon as
think
she gets into the back lines.
Looking to
Ningguem,
start this off by dishing out a light
Segura,
Ryan,
I don't know,
giving
have
themselves a little
calm.
space to work with, but into somebody like Frank, it's not going to be enough. Alley, though, on that top side. Oh, and a double takedown there. Excellent teamwork.
Well,
Now going to leave Rada Foot by himself. Completes the team wipe, and Loud will own the middle point. That's what the objective is supposed to be.
I
Focus
thought
yourself,
they
gain
had
control of the map
calm,
early, and making it tough to march up, especially for something like a sharpshooter and Frank, who's a walk-up sniper here.
but
This could be rather difficult if Anubis isn't careful.
early game
Easy
is
walk up for
like
Anubis. I
is
was
the
tempted to
only
actually grab
scenario where they're
Kyodog
going to win,
instead when Kyodog
so
runs out of ammo. It would have been wise for Kyodog to just get out of there, hightail it away from the water, but he decided to stick around for the fight. At least he's earned a super along the way. It's an easy takedown onto Rada Foot. Tufa also most vulnerable brawler on this map to close range, but he has the better reload speed over Alley. That's pretty easy, however. And we'll see Ningame Segura lose that control of mid. Loud are all up in it. They have that hypercharge Pam turret down, and they're looking healthy.
I mean, I'm not really sure
Two
how
hypercharged
Ningguem
supers being used.
Segura
Well, he had it already.
even made
Frank now on the prowl. Left to right side. Pierce will own the entire
30%.
side of that map, and they'll no longer be able to rely on that. Importantly for Pam turrets, they're just gonna have to throw it in the open. This is gonna allow the red roster to focus that down.
Firecrow still trying to stay alive here, and
Oh,
that
he
is what
got
can get you when you're
yoinked.
not respecting the range matchup versus Frank. He has so much range with that gadget. It's even enough to take down a tank.
Well, the
Spike
Pam.
has been taught that lesson. Now, in game number 1, we'll see if Firecrow gets
I mean,
more
she
experience with
can
each
fill
matchup.
out the
Loud
whole
also trying to be
pink
crafty in this
zone.
matchup versus Anubis. We'll see a pretty aggressive Spike super down. And Loud will be allowed to continue moving
He'll
up.
survive
Firecrow, of
though.
course, keeping the range, knows that Anubis has that gadget back. There's not going to be enough time for him to use it now. Kyodog has all the pressure in the world. The positioning is there, and Loud advance on to match point.
Okay.
Done. Just playing the game mode to perfection, not overdoing it. At times when the enemy team got space, they were able to regroup, not stagger their spawns. I think that's a problem sometimes you can see, even at a professional level. So I think the comms crystal clear. You can see it there, all of them, of course, in the same room. Wherever Loud headquarters is, I'm sure things are going well. And now one game away from advancing to a stage that they made many times back in 2025, trying to start the new year off just right. For everyone watching, this is the South American Monthly Finals, and for Loud, this is just another Saturday. This is pretty much what they do, another semifinal, another dollar in their bank account. Loud, they quickly sweep up 2 brawlers.
Well, I mean, it would be funny if they, if South America was the only region I predicted right. You know, I mean, EMEA and East Asia were Chaos Pure, and North America have 7 extremely strong teams. 2 extremely good teams didn't even make it through the monthly finals, and because I mean we had KDS Elevate, CNE, and wait. No. Elevate wasn't there, but CNE, Zulan's team, and Chino's team were all in a bracket with KDS. I mean, it seems like I just underestimate Eddie. Oh.
It's similar to 2025. Loud kickoff 2026, excelling. Solid fight out of Nimgwim,
GG's.
but they're underdogs for a reason. Loud are making noise early on our new season.
Okay, so for the next match, I think my prediction was. Oh, we will see.
If you're looking at this, if you're a high-level player saying, okay, well, I could have seen that a mile away, then why didn't Loud see it? Right? How did they not see this coming? So I think well and truly Ningame Segura outsmarted Loud in set number 2. That is a high bar to clear, and I gotta give them a pat on the back for that. I was ready to give them accolades for even taking a game. They did it several times. They took an entire set. Well done, Ningame Segura, even though they didn't advance on to the semifinals.
For sure, and the expectations against
I don't want it.
I think a lot of people at home have a similar kind of task that I would give Loud too.
Oh, Eternal.
Once again, I think World Finals minimum, especially when you go top 5th through 8th with a team last year, one of the best results South America's seen in a long time, and you run it back for a 3rd straight year. Ningwim Segura hold those heads high. They definitely went a set further than I thought they would go, but Loud, this is just another stepping stone. It's a long journey ahead if they want to take a grand finals.
I sure hope they hold their heads high. It was very promising what they showed us here today.
Okay, give me a few seconds. I'll be back.
Glass pick, we weren't really a fan of it, and he was more just a star power, a super feeding station for anyone on the other side. Kyodog on the other side with 18 kills on Ellie. If you pick up 2 long-range snipers, basically no health, Ellie's gonna do so well. So yeah, that draft, they kind of should have seen it coming.
No health? How about no help? I mean, there was really nothing to deal with the alley. You have Frank, but look, the alley is too evasive. He has a whole windup on his attack. If he's playing in the backlines, he's probably on full HP from not being out in the open to get the, quicker attack, faster reload speed. So, yeah, just not really what the doctor ordered. Was pretty surprised to see him get a kill on Spike just once because I know that Loud know that matchup. But at some point, you know that you're going to win the match. You have the outdraft. You're pressing the buttons. You know that you're going to the semis.
So what would have been the solution there?
I am back.
I think the solution.
And I missed nothing.
And leave potential other threats open. I think they banned Mortis. Do you leave that open then?
Yeah, should win. You're so smart.
That quarterfinal number one went down a 3-1 overall. So Loud takes this one, moves on into the semifinals, and is now waiting for their opponent ready. Is it going to be Olympus Squad or Eternal?
Olympus Squad will be a really fun one to watch. This is A7 of last year, and Eternal are no slouches either. To see a team like this with roster members that are on that lower side of the bracket emerging through that, have a little bit of trouble, makes things interesting. Pedro was the only one on the desk brave enough to take Eternal. I don't think it's too crazy. I know this quarterfinal 4 is going to be close. I feel that way in my gut, but quarterfinal 2 I think is really fun. Should be an interesting one to say the least.
Hmm.
Joining us on the desk now is someone who knows the game from inside out. Coach Pedro bringing the strategic minds behind the players. How have you enjoyed the show so far?
A lot. I mean, it's insane to be here, and it's a different perspective of the
It's
games, and
the
it's
coach from
We're gonna lean
SK.
heavily on his strategic mind, the analyst brain behind every single play from the players, and maybe we get some insight from you as well. Why, for example, did they pick Frank?
I mean, it's different of the situation, but it's really good to see a region like SA, right? They are really aggressive. It's completely different than what we can expect from EMEA. It's true that lately these two meta are coming close together a bit more, but remember back then where they meta was completely different, so it's good to learn a
You're
lot.
respected by the entire scene. How did you do last weekend again?
Okay.
Sorry, what?
Okay. You know what? He's my teammate now. You can't talk to him like that. I'm gonna cover for. Let me take this one for you. You can't talk to him.
I'm literally supposed to say that. I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, yeah, we try our best. It was not the best start of the year we expected, but we have been there. We know what it means to represent the SK, and we will be back on top.
We believe in you, Pedro. Also here at the casting desk, super excited to have you here. And yeah, you seem very, very confident. So I'm glad to see that. We're heading into quarterfinal number 2 now. And I do want to point out here, Pedro, you were the only one to pick Eternal. It's Olympus Squad versus Eternal Esports.
Yeah, I think I here I will trust the experience that some players have. Right, we have players like Motep, like um, like the Jubilee, but these players that have been on top already know what it means, and they especially they came all together because they kind of got dropped from teams before, right? Jubileo from what is now SK Kalala's roster, right? Mid-season, now Motep recently. So I think that also give you the energy to prove that even if you when you get dropped, that you prove that you are good enough.
Yeah, on the left outside, Olympus Squad are a good team. I think the second half of last year was a team that I grew to love, loving their gameplay. A couple semifinals in there, quarterfinals as well. I don't think they're any slouches. I'm with you. I really do think this is going to be a very competitive match number 2.
We had a couple of roster changes also in Latin America, and these teams have been affected by it, Kenny.
Yeah, absolutely. An insane roster mania in the offseason here for the region. Pretty crazy stuff. And last second as well, not only was it a surprise to see teammates like Motep and Pekka go away from each other. After 3 years, they're separating, but in a bizarre way. On January 7th, SKC announced that they would be taking world finalists from last season, Motep, RHC, and Pekka. This was only roughly a month ago. And time goes on. Scrim results don't go the way they're looking for. In just 3 days before monthly qualifiers, they shift things up again. It was really interesting to see Motep's perspective on this. Motep, somebody that wanted to kind of make a name for himself, prove that he could lead a team, especially maybe a smaller organization like Eternal Esports that isn't as large as somebody like Loud, to go back to the top. Both parties definitely wanted top spots in this region. SKC, somebody who were at the top last year, 3 monthly finals wins, and it's really crazy to see them make a kind of change like that so quickly before the season. It just adds to the drama, and we'll have to see who ends up winning the quote-unquote trade, because that's essentially what it was.
Yeah, it's really interesting because then in the region you have Loud, right, which is the king of the region, and then last year you had a few teams fighting each other, and now they merge force to try to fight them, right? First was the addition of RHZ to PK and Motep. That didn't work out, so they decided to move Motep and bring the other big star, big rookie from last year, which is Christian. So I think that's a good point, and now the leftover are for me are Jubileo Motep. So I think we're gonna see a really insane match.
It's going to be insane. Most of us are saying Olympus Squad is going to take it. However, it is one of the 2025 South American rivalries that continues here this year as well. Basically, a redux of the Alpha 7 esports team versus Casa Brawl. They faced each other about 10 times last year. Most of the time, the Alpha 7 team with Brabao came out on top, Kenny. Can they finally break this curse now?
I'm not sure. I mean, it's got to be a little awkward, right? Am I the only one? Motep and Jubileo on a team last year together, and then it's like, hey, buddy, we're going to bring in Doritos for your spot. And then the next year, it's like, hey, do you care if we team up? I mean, there's got to be at least a little bit of that. I'm sure they're going to be working through that in the early season. Clearly, they're cool with each other, or else they don't make that roster happen. But obviously, these two teams have fought a ton, like you said. This is a very personal one. I think Olimpo Squad have a lot to prove just to show that they're not a tier 2 quote unquote team in this region, that they want to be in the same conversation of something like a Loud and an SKC. And Motep, like I mentioned, even in his tweet when he was departing for the new team, it seemed very personal to him. It seemed like a personal goal that he wanted to be taken seriously as a top dog in this region. That's something that I can respect.
He even mentioned that he was maybe overshadowed a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, Olimpo was 19 points, 17
Yeah.
points away of LCQ, right? And I think they really want to prove it themselves. They last year when they were completely rookies, I think. So now they have the experience. They have done so many attempts already. I think this could be their year.
So they now have the chance to show us where it's at, heading out into our first map. It's Super
Hmm.
Beach. And as we're heading into draft, I want to throw to our beloved Pedro over here. Tell us more about this map. We already saw Willow pick before. Why is she so good here?
I think Willow can give you this is a really early pick because give you all the a lot of control in the map. Also, it's a thrower that always you are always afraid. What should I pick if they go a thrower or not, right? And Willow is already a thrower that can defend himself pretty good and give you already from the first pick already that goal possibilities.
So B coming in as a mid, which is super traditional here. And I think they're going to pair this specifically with Stu because they want that wall break. If you're going to face a Willow, like you mentioned, one of the ways that you kind of have to deal with it is by tearing everything down. Otherwise, Willow's just going to have her way.
Eternal
Like Spike,
can
you've seen
go
in later stage,
like
doesn't typically do
Frank,
that
I
well.
think.
So having B, if you're going to run that risk, you better have wall breaker outside it.
I do like the Stu idea here. Griff could have been another one to open up the map, but Stu just a tad
Ems
bit
is
better, as
open.
he can also go aggressively. We already have seen though, if you have
Like
two
M
Reinhardt
side
players, Stu
lane.
could come in with a Charlie here. Was the
And
solution
now
that
they
he
need a
was
mid
fresh
lane.
to have something against
Mm,
those single hit brawlers, those little spawners.
maybe Ruffs.
Super aggressive, and then also
Okay, or no mid lane.
I mean, the Frank I think was a must pick because you can see that with B and Stu, the Frank could be an insane last pick, right? And it's better. And sadly, we don't have too many counters for Frank these days, so it's better to pick it and you decide if you want to open or not. And but yeah, it was must. And Nimina is a really good flex brawler, can be mid against B, dodge and a bit, put the shield, put in same pressure. And Kenya's last pick is really interesting because now you have something to go for the Willow, and you fit a lot against the other two.
we have an aggressive play now on both sides. The playmaker Kenji versus Mina. Stu, on the one hand, to open up the map. Willow's gonna struggle quite a bit there, but with Frank on her side, she shouldn't be
I
struggling.
don't know
too
what the
much
mid
as,
lane is
yeah,
going
he
to
can
be.
protect her pretty much from the Kenji, I feel. Pretty balanced draft here overall. Kenny, if you had to choose one, which one would it be?
I'm going to go with left-hand side, I think, to win this one. I feel good. I feel like the Frank was almost forced. I like that there's two powerful brawlers on that right-hand end, but on the left-hand side, just a great strategy overall. Rattlepie kicking things off for Olimpo Squad, and
Bro,
Mina already backed away.
what
approaching
are
the
their
top,
names?
all dished away, and Coway nowhere to walk. With a nice flank here. Jubileo has to go closer and closer to that net. A desperate windmill just to try and keep them up, but the HP too high. An interception, though, a little misplaced ball will cost them.
I think we're gonna expect to have an insane amount of kills and fights in
Oh,
this game, right?
that's the Milkreal thing.
Super pop-off and hypercharge even. They have insane hypercharge, all of them, and yeah, it's more about what value they get from the abilities.
Bro, what the hell?
Every game, I guess. And once the map is open, B will pop off. So it's about if Eternal can score early goals, because later is the worst for them.
Yeah, and especially now that we're about 40 seconds into this. Motep finally getting a super down. Brabao being mind controlled. Coway, though, hypercharged super just lets loose on the middle of the map as Motep dribbles. Gonna debate. Jubileo playing it patience. Knows that as a lone brawler, especially with a respawning Brabao, that would not be smart to approach the net.
And now the walls are starting to open. As I said, yeah, the wheel is going to start to suffer, but
I mean, yeah, now it's just torture.
So he can get the walls right to make something. It's not easy gonna
It's just such a 3B game.
Wide open, green grass ahead of him. It'll be a Limpo squad knocking in the first goal. Plenty of hypercharges available though.
I don't know what they're going to do against the B. Especially, it was like second pick.
Now on the other end as well, B
Mhm.
to walk alongside them. And a triple Berbao on the map. We're just going to teleprompter it, folks. I have no idea who's who, but 3 straight brawlers named that. Just know they're all Limpo players.
Yeah, I mean it's a really hard game for Willow on late, so they need to really make some pressure with the Frank at the start so they can score some early goals. Also, it's really hard, right, because you have to do that break right away. So yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have to call them their brawler names because there are 3 Berbaus on the map, so they're playing mind games with the casters as well. If I don't know what they're doing, I mean, what are they gonna do on the other side to predict it? Kenji up in the air and now a super going down for Kawe strikes. Ooh, look at the rapid fire coming out of Frank. Motep.
It's a good chance now. Now Eternal needs to go super safe. They cannot miss the pressure. Now they don't need to rush anything. They need to just to hold a bit to find the abilities and the right opportunities to go, and they cannot miss this chance.
There's the patience that you were talking about. It's gonna drop this windmill gadget, try and find
Oh, that was clean.
Great mechanic. That was not an easy knockdown. It definitely pays off for Eternal. The patience that you talked about really paid off.
Yeah, and to be honest, I would just do the escape move, put it on the corner all the whole game. I mean, because it's what it is, right? Try not to feed the stew as much as possible. I think
Like,
have a super right
regen,
now.
please.
Not feed it with the Frank, but yeah, I mean, that's what you need to do.
Yeah, take the Kenji. Thank you.
To try and stop it.
Well, okay.
Not necessarily pocket the ball like you asked for, but they just saw an opportunity and took it. Better to just go ahead and win
It's
the
just,
game outright.
it's so interesting. The matches never go till the end, you know?
Great. But like you mentioned, it felt like the Frank was almost a choice out of we have to pick this because if we let it slide, the other team is going to absolutely destroy.
Brawl Ball never goes to overtime.
Yeah, I think they
So interesting.
Olimpo, but I mean, all Barbados players need to freeze
I mean,
on the
Hot Zone almost never goes till the end, but
freezing why can you do his thing and yeah, try to break as soon before they got all the pressure. That's happened in the second game, right?
Yeah, B for a long time, of course, going to be anti-tank, but Frank just with so many health points, and especially with the transition to this new kind of super where he gets a shield.
I don't know why he didn't go for the super.
That had to be a mistake.
Oh.
Why you would do that? That is a blunder for sure. Wasted utility, and now Kenji's going to be close to dying as well. So in a 1v1 interaction, I think Olimpo squad certainly enjoying that one. They love seeing that purple button is gone.
Yeah, it's interesting that to see at this level this kind of mistakes because are really rare, right? But also the other team will know how to punish you if you make this mistake, right? You are Frank, you have one of the best hypercharge, you miss it, now you are gonna regret it.
Numbers for Eternal. Stu skating up the map, trying to build space for his teammates as the big Sting goes down. Windmill to protect them. This is one of the mechanisms that Mina relies on to succeed. Once it's burned, though, just going to be a lot easier for Olimpo squad.
I just don't know why Frank always uses the super like that.
Plenty of space.
I think we have seen the first game super chaotic where it's really good for the blue team, and the second game super slow, which is really good for Eternal, and now we are seeing kind of mix of these two game styles because one of them is better for the other team, right? So it's really interesting to see which game style is going to win.
All things considered, good on Eternal for not letting that one in easy. Frank with a dish away, and it forces the entire blue side to march backward. Now a hypercharge. Kawe going to be letting loose. No connections there from the hammer hit. And Motep, of course.
I mean, you know, something I heard from, I think, Semantic in the video was, don't even use your super when you activate Frank Hyper, because the raw buff for your main attack is so good.
So yeah, it's super chaotic, but that's a good news for Olimpo, to be honest.
Anything takes this if it goes to it.
Let's see, Mina, they need to push now before the map walls open.
I mean,
Then
it's a B in overtime. So what? Oh. Yeah. That was good.
That's exactly what happened. Yeah, I mean, he has these insane abilities, right? But Willow didn't even push the pink button. The purple button, he didn't need it. But I mean, he relied on his teammate. He was probably keep it for the defense, but he didn't need it.
it really didn't look like they could make it in that first game. Olympia squad takes the game looking very, very strong, but now we see some great moments
Yeah, that
from
was
the Mina. As you said, she needed to make some
well
plays.
played, but I think the Stu
Her
could have
SKC.
gotten it.
Now we also finally know who's who on the left-hand side roster. Burbao was on Stu, indeed. Ice Crew on Kenji with a whopping 11 kills. So even though they open up the map quite a bit, that Kenji still worked out perfectly.
The Burbao PR department is thriving right now. 3 players and all of that action, all of them look great. I mean, there's no way that you can do wrong. They're playing the devious work by them, by the way, but nonetheless, Eternal's still finding a way to win that set. I mean, all things considered after the draft, maybe that was just a wrong read of my situation, but I was pretty convinced with the Frank being a little bit of a forced pick. I thought maybe they get away with one there. Instead, though it's a knockdown goal, Mina's just a powerful brawler. That win rate doesn't lie.
I think it's this those Star Wars I would prove that killing or KD is not everything, right? It's important to know what's game making mode are you playing, that to go for objective in case of Hudson get the
Yeah,
right,
it's
just
true.
get the goals. We saw the Kenji with insane amount of kills.
I mean,
insane amount of
Olympia squad had no what's it
They also have to do
called?
that in that next one.
No
I'm
goal
okay with that.
scoring opportunity. Hello, please.
I always have a good time with it. Seeing some
Oh.
common brawlers, though, I always talk once again. First overall pick. I think that's
What's
mostly due to
that?
ball control, also decent range. I mean, obviously
Probably,
but I
yeah,
just think
knockout.
is a great flex brawler. Byron kind of in the
Rico's
empowering teammates
open.
with the heals, but also the poison damage.
Mina
Has a
isn't.
gadget that can fan a shot into grass, so just vision also strong there too.
Yeah, I think the Earth is
Trust me and go with Barry.
Tanks. And Byron, I think there is very sniper, so I expect to have some strategy with the last pick. You can have some aggro to heal, because if you go on a sniper, you just go something like Piper or Bell, right?
Sure.
More safe.
Just hard commit.
But so I can expect something interesting.
And there comes the Rico that we mentioned before. Once again, Rico and Brock. We've seen this composition before. Spike now a buffy brawler that you can virtually play on every moment. Now last pick for
what will you break the map with?
here, I kind of would assume they
Cold is open.
as they already have the Byron. Otherwise, yeah, I would have loved to see a tick maybe left open here. Was banned out before in this map.
I think the strategy is to go for a Frank. Let's see what they pick already the
Yeah.
So
Frank works as well.
Same category, right? I mean,
no, I'm pretty sure they went. They went because Olimpo was ready for it, right? No one would pick Spike if you don't expect a hard tank.
Oh yeah, Frank was banned, but
maybe
like surely there's a tank you can go. Like why would Draco not work?
We do have someone that can open up the map though on the left hand side. So with that Brock, as long as they open up the map, they should do just fine into that thrower. Set number 2 now for Olimpo squad versus Eternal.
I don't know. Do they want to break the map? And Draco's going to be useless if they do.
Is one of the best to do it. They're going to be spacing the floor early. The Grom pick, not something I expected. Into a matchup like Spike, I like it.
That no good curveball dodging.
Vision at the start is really safe in this kind of maps. There is other throwers like Sprout or Tick that are really good against third-time brawlers, but can have a lot of can have less counters than Grom, right? So if you know you have the last pick, you can pick the thrower that you feel more.
Well, unique draft out of Eternal. My diamond randoms are thrilling right now, knowing that Grom is getting played at a professional level, because they sure do love to pick it in my level.
Yeah, like no one's dodging Grom, no one's dodging Spike. Oh, what's that? You can just run into Brock. Yeah, not. No suicide, please. They give Brock a hypercharge and use a Byron super call.
Another teammate with a super too. It feels like Olympus squad have an advantage in the next one as well.
Yeah, I think they need to fight for the left. They have the Grom vision. They need to. They have struggling so much. They're struggling so much with the Rico. Just forget about the Rico. Go left, get the left.
Yeah, let's go. Shoot a little bit more to the. Shoot a little bit more to the right, please.
Yeah, getting all the numbers from the left-hand side would also put them in a 3v2, but it's going to
Oh,
be Brock. Foot on the gas pedal. Ooh, and
yeah.
a hypercharge as well. Oh, he was feeling nasty. Tried to go for two, not enough. Overdoing it a little bit. Rico on the right-hand side, not making any contact either. Eternal in trouble. Not quite out of it yet, but Motep's going to have to play pretty darn perfectly. Now a purple button being popped for Spike. This is where
Just
things get deadly.
what are you
It's
waiting
so
for?
much damage going down for
Why
Spike, and
are
just
you
trying to lay
not
out
super
to grab
ranked?
kills. Overall, Olympus squad just felt like the safer, better team in that opening game.
I mean, we saw some really good skill move from both teams, right? That Brock popping the purple.
Oh yeah, that's
Bomb
Clara, I
to
need
run
you.
the ground was really good. He really know the speed that he get and you really get used to it.
Well,
And the
at
push there
least
from Motep on there, T1
Ice Crow's
was
not
not enough
chewing
to
gum
pull the
with
trigger, but
open mouth
was really
this
good.
So
time.
we'll see if they change things up here. It looks like Eternal are sending Braum a little bit of backup. RT,
That's
not
nice.
necessarily hiding himself, but is concealed in that grass a little bit. Going to be taking out Fanning shots, dealing
It's
with initial
just
burst
so
of
interesting
Spike.
draft.
Brock in the middle of the map. Rico's
Because I don't think in
Outside.
EMEA anyone would fall for
Think this is
that.
going to be taking a much slower approach. Not really an opportunity to move up for either end.
I mean, that's a bit better, right, for Eternal. Now they freeze a bit every lane. They cannot get pushed, but I don't
And
know how much.
to be honest, I don't know why they don't switch the
To the Rico, just kind of trying to
Grom
force
onto the Rico.
Braum, right,
Yeah,
for the
finally.
for late game.
Now they're going to
Because
that right-hand side.
like it's not the Byron who has to go on the Rico.
Trying to play the middle of the map. Ready to go with the super if necessary.
Yes.
Now Vision going down from the tower that Grom drops.
Let's
Rico is on top.
go. They
Typically
did
doesn't
it.
love being against other throwers. Has a super though. He's flashing that left. Will pop it. Ooh, and a complete whiff there. Now it's gonna be a 3v3 with the fog. Eternal finally have legs here. Few shots going down, and Braum just body blocking for his entire team, trying to charge up a super, will get a kill, but a Byron support
Braum.
brawler left all alone, no chance.
I mean, how did Motep even die?
Ooh, and a complete whiff there. Now it's gonna be a 3v3 with the fog. Eternal finally have legs here. Few shots going down, and Braum just body blocking for his entire team, trying to charge up a super, will get a kill, but a Byron support brawler left all alone, no chance.
What was that? He thinks he's being overshadowed.
Should pop off, but they are suffering so much.
Bro, that.
So the unique picker Grom so far.
I mean, they had the
Few
chance.
here and there, but even a brawler like Spike able to maintain. This time an opportunity though for Motep on the bottom right-hand side, super going down, but also wasted as well. Thankfully for Eternal, they do manage to grab a kill out of it.
Yeah, I
That
mean, they got the kill,
was
but it's
well
insane
played by
how in this kind
Motep.
of map, this open map, long map, the Spike have already a
But
sniper. That's really good for him. It's really rare to see this kind of brawlers that are supposed to be to contain some tanks, right? They are winning throwers, they are winning snipers, and that's all on him.
Yeah, not a traditional matchup that they're going to enjoy, and at this point, it's just Brock.
I don't know why
get whatever he can muster, but ultimately going to fall. So a couple
the
next
Byron
round for Eternal.
charge
Feeling a little light for
hits
them.
him.
Spike's definitely been a player to watch though, and now he's gonna be sneaking down the skinny side of this left-hand lane. Brock once again taking the middle. The
Just
issue is though, you can't hide anymore because that
wow.
Grom gadget reveals you
How
immediately.
they go?
Yeah, but it's really easy to take it off, right? So yeah, that scat is don't stay too long. And somehow the Grom needs to push on the lane, right? The Grom is the win condition kinda, the condition to get a lane for free, and he's not working at all.
Wild to think in our current meta of Franks and Mortises that something like a Grom could be a win.
I mean, I don't know why they aren't going Grom on the right side. I mean, it isn't working against the Spike, and it isn't working against the Rico, and I think it's the throwers job.
Not over because of Jubileo. Healing, Jubileo holding and dodging on the mid by his own completely, and I think that was because of him. I was gonna say they were gonna win.
And what was
Really
that?
good the Grom this time, and for me this is over.
Yeah, at this point in the 2v2, close call. Limpo squad holding on, but Spike
Both
survival.
they are
Just
throwing.
now they'll match things up here. That was really impressive to watch. I thought the Grom was creative. Did you really feel like it came through the way they thought it would? Because I feel like at times, you know, mechanics aside, I just didn't see them align up in the start like I think you mentioned. Like, I feel like I would have rather seen them be more aggressive and take a more progressive approach.
Yeah, I think in the paper, Grom should always win a Spike, right?
Yeah.
But this map is a
Yes.
bit special. This map is the vision and the pressure is everything. And the new Spike is insane. You can win kind of every match, any matchup, and yeah, it works.
Spike definitely a brawler that sticks out to me as one of the most banned, most picked, and the highest win rate of brawlers. Definitely a good pickup here from the side of Olympus squad. I also am a bit surprised that they didn't even open up the map too badly. The Chrome still had a lot of walls to stand behind, yet Olympus Squad still won.
Some great sidestepping. Now we know it as Ice Crow. I was going to call him Berbao #1, but I just have no idea in the middle of the game who they're running to their in-game names. Ice Crow going to be the man on that spike. 4 kills apiece, so even distribution there. But I just felt like a lot of the times we were calling out the mechanics of him, right? The sidestepping, the dodging of Grom supers. And again, throwers traditionally do well into spike because spike relies on open space. Throwers, if they're hiding behind a wall, well, it's hard for spike or sharpshooters in general to land those shots. So the fact that he was able to get the better of Coway, I think goes to show how well Vasetti played.
Yeah, of course. I mean, obviously you pick the Brock to be safe against throwers, but if you have a teammate that I don't know if tell you or you feel like no, I'm chill, I have the counter, I'm gonna win it. Why do it, right? Why to waste those gadgets?
Yeah, very true. Brock didn't have to open the map, and they still won the match into a thrower. Very well played from them. Now, after getting as many kills as possible, the objective of that mode, we're heading over to Hot Zone. A super interesting one here. We're on Ring of Fire once again. We have seen this map already before, Kenny. Auntie Ellie had an absolute pop-off moment from the side of Loud. Do you think she's going to be banned out now?
I think it's very possible. I think Ali is somebody that you have to consider. Somebody like Im. Oh, I was going to say, if Ims escapes, you have to consider it. One strategy we saw in EMEA last week with Reply Totem was running the Gray Ims combo. Obviously, that's not a possibility here. But for me, Pedro, I just feel like Ims is such a powerful brawler that even on a map like this, where you wouldn't naturally consider her in most metas, now that because she is so good, I almost feel like you have to click the button just out of pure respect.
Yeah, I think Emeth is the best brawler right now. For me, it's one of the metas where we have the top one with a big gap with the top 2 brawler right now. And these teams are known to train at least on the stats with Poco, B, Aggro. But this Emeth is a surprise for me. Probably they wanted to leave everything open so they can pick another top brawler. Normally, what you do is you leave, if you expect them to pick Poco, Mortis, and Emeth, you leave all of them open so you have the other 2, right?
That is a very wise thing they've done here. I was about to say, they left open all of these brawlers. Frank is also left open, so with that Poco already on the field, I wouldn't be too surprised if they picked him up as well. Frank and Poco usually don't do too well into Ems though. She's a pretty good counter against both of them, one being a tank, one just having about the same range as the Ems. Let's see with what Eternal show up next. Still need some range, I feel. Never mind, Shelly isn't going to be... I think they fear the Frank from the left-hand side. Finks is going to come in for the range, so at least I got that one correct. I think Pam could still be an option here. Is going to do a fairly well job against the Finks specifically.
Yeah, it surprised me these last 2 picks from Eternal, right? Normally when you have an Nth, you need to... It's insane brawl, but you need a bit of support. Normally you put it with a TP, with something that can grant you the push, the control, but he's going to play alone. Anyway, I think it's going to kind of be insane. Obviously, Shelly and Emeth get to the enemy bush. It's GG's.
Yeah, it's going to be tough, especially if they walk up there. So instead, they're going for a much more control-oriented brawler. Grim and Frostbitten to kind of cut off the middle of the map. The ice is still something super valuable, I imagine, in this situation like this.
Yeah, I mentioned Lou a couple of times coming into the first time we've seen this map. Now Lumi kind of does the same with 2 ice rings as her gadget. I'm super excited for this one. Did not see the Shelly coming, did not see the Poco coming, and then nothing really to follow it up.
Should be a fun one. 1-1 on the scorecard. Eternal team trying to cause a little bit of racket, mix things up over in South America. We've seen what Olympus Squad can do. Last year, A7's roster made it to multiple semifinals. They're looking to climb their way back up to the top. Both of these teams looking to prove that they deserve a date with Loud, to prove they are more than just the tier 2 destination, trying to get themselves out of jail there. So now I'm going to call him Berbao #1 on the right-hand side. Going to be running the Mortis while Poco in the mid. Lumi playing alongside it. I think it's going to be a game of cat and mouse. It's really going to be Shelly trying to shadow that Mortis, and the other 2 brawlers just have to win the 2v2.
Yeah, basically we're going to see exactly a 2v2 on the mid. Then Mortis is going to try to put some chaotic on the other 2. At the same time that he's going to run away from the Shelly. We saw a really good synergy now trying to kill that Shelly, and works really good. And now it's the turn of Mortis to do a space at the same time that he's trying to avoid the Shelly.
That was a phenomenal combo. It was almost Mortis baiting out the Shelly so that the Lumi could activate super, stun